Welcome to my review of the Blon BL-05s. Quite anticipated, and they've had a bit of a sketchy birth. It's probably the best way, because originally this was designed, these ones here, was to be a hybrid, so the single dynamic driver to do most of the frequency range, and then to use a piezo driver just to do the highs, like the very highs. But people who tried it and tested it said it was really peaky and what you don't want, so they actually just took it out. And allegedly they tuned it a bit so this would then cover the full range, as far as I know. And there's just supposed to have been a Blon BL-03 Mark II, so the same shape but longer nozzle, but excuse me, but that never materialised. So yeah, so packaging is the same, so we've still got Oppoty and Driams. My BL-03 doesn't say WGZ, so I'm not quite sure what that is. This is slightly different to the BL-03. This is kind of like furry, and yeah, decibel manufacturing. So yeah, belief, let music burn, Oppoty, the opportunity, Oppoty, never give up, annotation, music and Driams, the usual stuff, and a bit of info. So yeah, BL-05, sensitivity is 108, 2 pin, uses 0.78 pins, so you can always use aftermarket cables. Second gen carbon nanotube. The BL-03 was a CNT as well, L plate, L shaped plug, you'll see in a bit. 20 Hz, 20 kHz, 1.2 cable, and 32 ohms. So all that is basically the same as the 03. So what you get is you get this canvas-ish kind of bag. Don't know if anybody ever uses these, but so you get Blon. The manual in English and Chinese. I presume it's Mandarin, but after policy, problems, notice and warm tips, fitment, which I'll talk about in a bit, turn. Okay, these earphones are not like vases. Okay, you can always pause it and have a good read through all this. Inheritance and start. The brand story of Blon. Okay, so you get that. I just say you can always just pause the camera. You get, mine's the version I ordered was without the mic, so no microphone. It's not too bad, but it's the same cable as what's on the 03s. Good wire split, no chin slide if that matters. Right angle connector, which is what I prefer, and it says Blon. There you go, Blon. And it's like gets like spaghetti, so you have to be careful. So yeah, guide to help keep it on. Now on the BL-03 that was a negative, because on mine they'd push it at your ears, but on these it's fine, but I'll talk about it in a bit. So you got R, yeah, see there, the camera pick it up. R, same thing for this one, you get L, and yeah, that completely covers the plugs. So for example, that's it. You get two sets of tips. It came pre-fitted with these ones, kind of longer cone shaped, which I heard came with a later BL-03 Blon BL-03s, which I don't know because mine is an earlier one, but they didn't fit me at all. It only came with two sizes, so large and maybe medium, no small. And it came with the tips I'm using, which is more like a dome shape, I guess, small and large. And I'd best to look with the medium tips. So let's get to yeah, let's talk about the cable. So the cable, I had good luck with this time. With the 03, like I said, it didn't fit me. The guide works fine. So I guess something that changed the shape of where that goes out of your ear, and it works fine. So you can actually use the stock cable, or you can use the existing Yin Yu ones. So this one, for example, I reviewed a few months ago. This works perfectly fine as well. I prefer this cable over that one. It's just a bit softer. It gets tangled a little bit less. You know, there's a bit tangled, but yeah, I'll put a link up here so you can see my review of this. But yeah, but there's a bunch of cables designed for these now, so you can just take your pick. But comfort, fine. It seems to go in your ear quite long, but see the nozzle's actually quite short. I was hoping for a longer nozzle, because it's the same kind of nozzle as the 03, but yeah, my next video to this one will be a comparison between the 03 and the 05s. Comfort for these is fine. I found the isolation to be pretty good. Not the best, but pretty good. It sealed really well. Comfort was fine. As you say, it's a peculiar shape, but build quality seems really good. It says WGZ, then you got R, and it says May 2014. Obviously, right for right, Blon. Really nice build. Little vent there, and yeah, quite simple. A little bit of weight to it with its construction, but yeah, it sounds fine. And now the key thing of these. What do these sound like? One thing you'll notice is, compared to most things, the bass is a little bit leaner. And there's a peak at the upper mids, which is not to most people's likings, but it's got a peak in the upper mids, which it can be a little bit tiresome. It just depends. You can also always EQ, but let's talk about the low end. Low end was good. Over, so that's flat. It's slightly elevated. It's not. This is not a bass earphone. Just like over what you class as neutral. It's just a little bit over the top, just a little bit more. That's fine with me because it makes the mids, like the lower mids, clearer because it's the bass is not as elevated. I don't mind, but then again, you can always EQ if you want to. Mids was good, and then you get detail was fine. Everything was very clear, shall we say. Then there's a peak at the, like I said, the upper mids. I think it's around 2K, or I can't remember from memory, but there's a peak kind of close to that. So it makes female vocals stand out, or male vocals who are like, they've got a higher tone, like male vocals, a higher tone, like makes that stand out. Someone like The Weeknd, his voice sticks out quite a bit. That's not really to my liking. I prefer a little bit more natural. I don't think the need to add that peak. A little bit less would have been fine, you know, for my opinion. Just a quick picture which I like with it on and off. So that's, but with the medium tips, like I said, it fitted fine. Treble was fine, as you say. It follows on from that mids and then it dips down a little bit. Treble to me was fine. I didn't really have any issues with that. It's just that bit, the upper mids, which some people say it's a little bit shouty, which I guess it could be. But then again, you can always EQ. You know, you can do what you need to do. Good sound stage. Didn't feel intimate. Imaging was good. Like I say, the isolation was good. You know, overall it's a good earphone, but it's probably not what people would probably want. I think more people would probably want a little bit more bass and upper peak, you know, a little bit less. Is probably what more people would prefer to listen to. My opinion, as I've tried quite a few earphones now. But yeah, build quality is, like I said, spot on. They did a nice job so far, but say I've only had it for a few days, so I can't do a 100%, you know, determination what it will be like. But everything seems good. But I'm quite glad you can actually use this with the cable included. And I think that's it. So overall, it's a good earphone. The 03 is also a good earphone, but like I say, my next video from this will be a comparison, you know, between the 03 and 05 direct. Because I haven't used the 03 for quite a while, so it's good to get have like a fresh listen and do them back to back and see what it's actually like. And I think that's it. But yeah, overall, decent earphone. A little bit bright around the 2K-ish part, so if that was bulked down a little bit, these would be like perfect really for what I'd like to. But yeah, good fitment. Glad I can use the cable, so you don't have to buy one, but you can if you want. It supports 0.78 2 pins, so you can always use, you know, another cable like an 8 core, 16 core UNU, or you know, whatever. There's a lot of cables available. I think that's it. Oops, before I lose the tip. If it focuses. But yeah, they're not too bad at all. I'm quite pleased with them. As you say, they're not perfect, but I still like to see that Blon 03 Mark II with the longer nozzle, with a touch less bass. That'd be a good option if they ever decide to do that. Yeah, and Cardinals, bring back the Blon Cardinal. Those things are epic. And yes, I think that's it. Anything you want to know, just as you say in the comments below. And I think that's it. Thanks for watching.